right at the top of his game, and then came a raft of big fights. The loss to Floyd Mayweather on points. He's stopped by Miguel Cotto, and he nearly dropped him in the third round. And Junior Witter, Randall Bailey, Maidana, Matisse, the list goes on. He did lose to all of those, but then in 2012 returned with some good victories of Gabriel in May. Year ended though in defeat, but again the on points providing Selcuk Aydin here tonight. What about this guy then, Richie? An easy opponent.
Career. He's 39 now, but he's still very dangerous, and he's still, you know, he's a puncher.
And that is it, isn't it? I mean, McCloskey found out. We said
that's the best win. McCloskey. Dangerous man indeed, and he's
always a big reception for the Turkish warrior whenever we've seen him. 25, 2-0, he too as well. He's no youngster anymore. Stops at 18 of I mean, this guy is prepared to go anywhere, and if you look at him, he is in great shape, as we've seen as well.
He looks like some Doctor Who with that.
I was going to say so we do get the national anthems before we begin. Great atmosphere as we expected. Now we'll get the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the title. Our suspect is the Hoshi and the judges, born in Mr. Paco Vasquez from Spain, España, Mr. Fabian Guggenheim from Switzerland, Mr. Jürgen Lagos from Germany, Almania. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the right corner, Anthony Dane, 39 years old, standing 1 meter 70 tall, weighing 63.1 kilograms. At 65 in his pro boxing career, 39 wins, including 23 knockouts, lost 20 and 1 draw. Former WBO wide welterweight champion. 39 yaşında, 1.70 boyunda, 63.1 kilogram ağırlığında, profesyonel boksta 60 maç yaptı, 39'unu kazandı, 23 kez knockout etti rakiplerini, 20 maçı kaybederken bir kez de berabere kaldı. Yarı orta state eski WBO champion, Demarcus the Selcuk Corley. And his opponent, introducing in the low corner, LFGB competition in Los Angeles. Opposition of idiot is going about opposition to the including 18 knockouts and 2 losses. Titles included welterweight, the EBU champion, the WBC Intercontinental champion, and WBC former silver belt holder. Avrupa Birliği şampiyonu, WBC kıtalar şampiyonu ve WBC gümüş kemer eski sahibi Türk savaşçı
Whatever happens, he's got to win the award for the ring announcer of the year, I can tell you that. So we're just about to be ready to go for our main event of the evening for this WBC, the vacant WBC Mediterranean light welterweight title. Demarcus Corley, the 39-year-old alias Chop Chop, he's had a 17-year pro career, and he has been busy right from the off.
Changing room, okay? Shaking in, good luck. Are you ready? Are you ready?
So Demarcus Corley, in that 17-year pro career, won his first title way back in 2001 when he beat Felix Flores for the WBO light welterweight title. That at just days' notice, he sprung a big surprise there. He sprung a big surprise 12 years later, this when he beat McCloskey in Ireland. Wherever he goes on the road, whatever country he stops off in, he is capable of producing an upset. And Selcuk Aydin, who's got the home support here, we know what type of fighter he is. And this is the first time we've seen him fighting at light welterweight for basically nigh on 5 years. He said that he felt he let his fans, his supporters down, and himself with those defeats against Guerrero and Caras, and now he's back to make amends. Famous last words, of course. First big overhand right.
Well, there was just a sign of what he's got to be doing, getting close and trying to land that left hook. That left hook of Aydin just whisked past the target, didn't it? And he's got to get closer to his opponent to land that shot. But Corley, I have to say, for a 39-year-old, he's in tremendous condition, working well behind his jab. Very clever boxing, just trying to maintain that gap between himself and the dangerous Aydin. But it looks in great nick, Corley.
He's not just a very good ring technician. This guy has got a very big punch. As he said, McCloskey was leading that fight into the 10th round when he got caught by 2 big right hands, and that was the end of that. And if you talk as well to Floyd Mayweather, Mayweather will tell you that this guy threw one of the hardest shots that he has ever taken in his professional career, and he's been in with everybody. So that just tells you what he is up against here tonight, Selcuk Aydin. But he is the big favourite. Stuck out of the way of this signature big right hand of Selcuk Aydin's.
Stop, okay? Box.
Yeah, a couple of good right hands from Aydin. He's getting close, and Corley, if he neglects his jab and he allows Aydin just to close that gap, then he's trying to land with that right hand. There it is again. So Corley, he has got to maintain that gap, and it's very important here that he stays behind that jab and boxes at range and at distance, because Aydin very, very dangerous as he's coming forward. But remember, he's got to get close up to Corley to land that big shot.
End of the first round, and Corley started it quite well, settling into his rhythm and the routine, getting to work behind his jab, and he was looking for the big shot, something to just stun his opponent. But he's been in these positions so many times before.
Yeah, I thought the first part of the round was definitely Corley's, boxing well behind his jab, but then Aydin just upped the tempo a little bit in the second half of the round, and then landed with a couple of shots, right hand, left hooks trying to go in. So yeah, it's a close one to score. Could have gone either way, to be quite honest, or could even be an even round. But Corley working better in the opening part of it. But there's that right hand. Now this was probably the last 30 or 40 seconds, so he started to get closer to him as the round went on.
The question is, and this was the question for Aydin in the welterweight division, whether he has got the power to stop this man. I mean, if you look, he has been stopped before. Miguel Cotto stopped him in 5 back in 2005. Jose Alfaro stopped him in 8. And of the more recents, he was knocked out by Freddy Hernandez as well. But all of those people are big, big punchers. He's getting in, trying to rough up Corley.
Yeah, and that's where he wants to be, Aydin. He wants to be in at close quarters.
And he might look in good condition, but there's always that thing about growing old in the ring. That fight where you become aged, literally, as the seconds and the minutes go by. And is this going to be one of them? He's going to try drawing his man here into a brawl, which perhaps isn't what the best policy is here for Demarcus Corley. Better policy for Selcuk Aydin.
But at the same time, Aydin, he knows he's got to get close up to him, but it's the way he does it, and he's got to keep the guard nice and high, and maybe a little bit more head movement, because you're in against a dangerous puncher. And this Corley, very experienced, he will find the shot as you're coming forward.
He's not afraid to stand and trade. I think he knows if it's a battle of the big punches, he might be the one that comes out on top, but Aydin has got other ideas here. Yeah, you can hear the call from his corner. Keep jabbing, keep jabbing.
Yeah, too right. He's got to keep jabbing and keep the punches long and straight. That's what his coach wants, and he knows that if he uses the jab, he will keep his distance and he'll outbox his opponent. Quite simple.
And just showing he's got a bit of agility in the upper part of his body as well, and ducking out a few of those punches. But Aydin has got him again on the ropes here.
Boxing again from centre of the ring is crucial for Corley. So he's got full range of movement. If he gets back up onto the ropes, then Aydin will most certainly be brought into it in a big, big way. Look, back onto the ropes, your feet come square, and that's where Aydin will, he'll prefer that type of territory.
Got to be careful, Aydin, when he swings that big right hand of his, that he doesn't leave himself wide open and just slightly off balance, which he has looked on a couple of occasions. That's a bit better from him. Still a bit of distance between the two, though.
If anything, though, Tim, there's too many single shots coming from Aydin. He needs to throw 3s and 4s and put Corley under a little bit more pressure with combination punching.
Oh, that was good from Corley. He ducked out of the way, and the left hand to the side of Aydin's head. Just a little stunner there at the end of round 2. But how have you got it after the first 2 rounds?
Well, I had the first round was pretty even, I thought, so I'll give that a 10-10, but I thought Corley just did enough to win that second round. So I've given it to him, so he's just ahead by a point after 2 rounds. Just gets a little bit scrappy, but Aydin coming forward catching his opponent there, but Corley just holding the centre of the ring very well.
Lucas Matisse was the last fighter that stopped Demarcus Corley. That was over a couple of years ago, but you say this guy travels around. I mean, he was out in Ukraine, he's been in Argentina, he's been in the UK, in Belfast, in Northern Ireland, he's been in Canada. I mean, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, and Corley's only been stopped 3 times in the 20 losses that he's had, so he's relatively tough. 4 times rather. So he's he's relatively a tough fella, is Corley.
And coming out quick to put his man under pressure is Aydin, trying to get control of the centre of the ring. Wasn't only a good pro, Demarcus Corley won the National Golden Gloves back in 1995. He had a fairly active and successful amateur career.
Better work from Aydin now, finding the target.
So
again, though, he needs 2s and 3s, Tim.
He's been forced, Corley, to do a little bit more work than he did against Paul McCloskey, that's for sure. He went all the way with Victor Postel in his last fight. That was over in Ukraine. Split to a unanimous decision, rather. That was on over 12 rounds. So he knows how to go the distance as well. So he's in it for the long haul. And what Aydin's probably trying to do here is just soften him up, so as he's, again, later in the rounds, he finds his stamina.
Yeah, that was a nice sharp little right hand there from Aydin. He's got a little short right hand again. See what Corley's doing there, he's just leaving himself open on the inside there. Look how low his hands are, he's in punching range, and Aydin is finding that sneaky little right hand on the inside. Corley's got to be a little bit more tighter.
I was going to say, that is when, in those close clinches, when he's trying to work to the body, that he looks every inch at 39 years of age, because there's no real speed or power in those body shots that he's throwing. He's just in a bit of treading water here, but all the while, that in that armoury somewhere.
Now, I don't think that Corley's corner will be too pleased with him in this round. He's chose the wrong tactics for me. He's trying to fight his man on the inside, and he's come off second best. He's got to concentrate more on distance. Look, Aydin has been brought into it more and more because it's short range.
There's a bit more intent from Corley.
So you're hearing his corner say no, 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 because they know he's standing and trading. It's not the right tactic to do.
Taking a few shots, he's just beginning to show signs. He's slowing down a little bit here, Corley. Better around that for Selcuk Aydin. Some of the instruction.
It was a good round for Aydin, no question. Found the target time and again. Right hands closing the gap down. It's actually in the chest there, but Corley just taking his eye off the ball here and just allowing his man in on the inside. See the fast footwork there from Aydin. Better work.
Well, a few words exchanged. I suppose they know the drill by now. Round 4 of a scheduled 12 here with this WBC Mediterranean light welterweight title. Good combination again, but again you talked about wanting more than just 1s and 2s, looking for 3s and 4s. But he's not sticking around long enough there to try and taste any potential counter that's coming his way.
Yeah, just slipping to the left slightly now, isn't he, Aydin, and throwing that right hand over the top, bent arm shot. And Corley with that slightly relaxed guard, he's getting caught with it. Better work again from Aydin.
Well, you talked about it. The best way to take on the southpaw, making sure your lead leg's outside of it, forcing him round.
Yeah. See, that's better from Corley. Long, straight work.
These punches are travelling an awful long way. But again, it's not really doing anything to upset or worry Corley. Still there, hasn't looked in any significant danger just yet. But it may be, as we move on through the rounds, the volume of shots that are going to slow him down gradually. The 39-year-old looks in great condition, but remember, this is the first time he's been in a ring for a year.
Yeah, an important part of the fight now here, Tim, because Aydin is getting more and more confident. So the complexion's changing slightly, he's getting more ambitious, looking for that right hand, getting closer. It's important for Corley now to stick to his boxing at range. He's allowing his man in on the inside far too often now. Better work from Aydin.
And he went in, he got in, and he fought with Floyd Mayweather back in 2004. And he has since, Demarcus Corley, actually worked as a sparring partner with him in his preparations down the years.
Don't wait, don't wait. Straight head, right.
It's got a little bit scrappy in there. Once again, these combinations he's throwing, as you pointed out, Richie, just ones and twos, the left hook followed by the right hand, and it's never really putting him in any danger.
No,
is it doing enough though for him to win the round?
I thought he won that last round there, Aydin, just on sheer work rate, persistence really, and the way he's coming forward. There's not a lot in these rounds, Tim, but we have to remember Aydin's on home territory, so I've got him slightly ahead here now.
Well, he was saying that he took a little bit of time to recover from those defeats over the last year, but he's really bullish about his chances. Nobody said he can stop me getting a world title. I feel strong, he said. I feel fast. Those are the two things that maybe I lacked a little bit before. Well, his trainer, oh no, what's going on here?
Oh.
Well, it's over. It is over. Well, that is a surprise.
Well, let's wait. Let's see. He's obviously got an injury of some sort.
Well, didn't seem to be any sign of it beforehand. Just about to say, earlier was saying he needs to put in a top performance. His coach still believes he's going to be a world champion, but he's got to prove himself in every fight. And he's managed to damage a very, very experienced campaigner out there. We're not really sure as to the reason why it has ended as it has. There certainly didn't seem anything wrong with him as he went back to the corner, but you never know, do you?
You don't. It's very disappointing for the boxing fans and for neutral fans, should I say. I just had him around up 39-38. I just thought he was just starting to gain control a little bit, pushing Corley back, getting to him. Unless Corley has hurt his hand or done something, there's an injury of some sort, I'll be very surprised otherwise, but I think that is the case. Very disappointing there. It was just warming up, wasn't it? He was just starting to get to Corley and really test Corley. Such a shame, because it would have been a better test for Aydin there, because Corley is still a really difficult opponent to get to, a former world champion.
Well, the moment is all about Selcuk Aydin though. He is back on the road, he believes, towards another tilt at a World Championship. So there is the new holder of the WBC Mediterranean light welterweight title. As he said, it's been a difficult year. July last year, the loss to Robert Guerrero, the loss in January this year to Jesus Soto Caras, before the return to form and the victories over Lowry and Herrera, and now Demarcus Corley.
Difficult to actually see what the problem is there, Tim, whether it's his hand.
Still a little bit of confusion in there as to the reasons why what happened.
Buradan çıkaralım, buradan. Bak burası gol.
And he doesn't look a happy man, does he, Aydin? I think we're going to try and get a few words before we go with both the fighters down there, Selcuk Aydin and Demarcus Corley, see if we can find out exactly what happened there. But look, the night is all about Selcuk Aydin, I suppose.
Yeah, he was in against a difficult opponent, a southpaw, former world champion, very experienced, and he was just starting to get to him, wasn't he?
I knew I was behind on the scorecard. I lost about 3 rounds, but I made the decision to stop the fight. It wasn't the ref or my trainer. I made the decision.
Evet, gerçekten zorlu bir maç oldu. 3 round sonrasında da puan itibariyle Selcuk Aydın'ın gerisinde olduğunu biliyordum. Hakemle ilgili bir şey değildi. Antrenörümün kararı değildi. Ben ringe dönmemeye karar verdim ve maçı bıraktım dedi. Anything else you would like to add? What would you like to say about Selcuk?
Selcuk is a great fighter, strong puncher. I've been in there with better fighters such as Selcuk, but I give him the head today.
Evet, Selcuk Aydın'la ilgili görüşlerini sordum. Selcuk Aydın gerçekten çok iyi bir boksör.
Well, you see and learn things that you've never learned before. So basically, you just had enough and jacked it in.
Incredible, to be quite honest. I thought he would have been definitely carrying an injury of some sort. But he decided to pull himself out. Very disappointing, I think, the end of the road. Very near.
Tebrik ediyorum ve teşekkür ediyorum. Maçla ilgili konuşmak gerekirse ben daha oyuna başlamamışım. Bu bizim taktiğimizdi. Biz kamuoyuna açıklamamıştık. Sol elimde bir problem vardı benim. Ciddi bir problem vardı. Ben maça uyuşturucu iğnelerle çıktım. Her şey kontrolümüz altındaydı. Ben oyunu hazırlıyordum. Nakat bekliyorduk ama rakip erken davrandı. Bize o fırsatı vermedi. Yani biz daha oyuna başlamamıştık. Yeni ısınmıştık yani. Bugün burada Türkiye'nin çeşitli yerlerinden gelip beni destekleyen bütün hemşerilerime, gönül dostlarıma ve ayrıca Tekirdağlı dostlarımıza bize gösterdikleri samimi sıcak ilgiden dolayı çok teşekkür ediyorum. Ekranları başında beni izleyip manevi olarak destekleyen bütün Türk halkına sonsuz teşekkür ediyorum. Onlar için çalışmaya devam edeceğim. Dünya şampiyonluğuna yakın olduğumu hissediyorum. Bir takım olumsuzluklar yaşadım ama şu an her şey yolunda. Yeni bir sayfa açtık ve umut ediyorum bundan sonra çok daha iyi bir şekilde geri geleceğim. Bana güvenlerini mahcup etmemek için çok çalışacağım. Ayrıca bu organizasyonda emeğe geçen ve yaşadığımız talihsizliklerden sonra bu yeni fırsatları bana yaratan menajerim Ahmet Öner'e de sizlerin huzurunda teşekkür ediyorum. Türk halkına en iyi şekilde hizmet etmeye devam edeceğiz. Biz sadece manevi duygularımızla bu ülkeyi temsil ediyoruz. Türkiye'de arkamızda durması gereken büyük güçler arkamızda durmadılar. Sadece halkımızın manevi desteğiyle biz bu yola devam ediyoruz. Evet. Ama biz Türkiye'yi temsil etmekten dolayı büyük onur ve gurur duyuyoruz.
Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bir büyük alkış bir kez daha Selçuk Aydin için. Actually that was not my plan at the beginning of the boat and I was not at my maximum performance level. That was not my plan. But I was just watching the plan of my trainer. But after the fourth round, my opponent, Demarcus Corley, just gave up and didn't come back to the ring. So I have had a serious injury on my left hand. Due to my injury, I did my best. But it is not over yet. Now I will try to do my best to become the WBC World Champion.
Well, there we go. There's the views of the victorious man tonight, the new WBC Mediterranean light welterweight title holder. Well, that's just about it then for this evening. We'll be back with more